From the post-millennial, 6 figures raised to throw rager for UNC frat boys who protected Stars and Stripes from Gaza protesters. I'd like to just give a round of applause to these young men. Bravo. Look at these guys. They were defending the American flag from the far-left extremists, and I respect it. Following the hoisting of the American flag back to its rightful place at the top of the pole at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, a group of frat boys prevented members of the Gaza camp from removing it for a second time to replace it with the Palestinian flag. The image of the young men protecting the Stars and Stripes has since gone viral, with one ex-user posting it alongside the hashtag Make America Frat Again, a play on Donald Trump's iconic Make America Great Again slogan. So here's a GoFundMe. Pi Kappa Phi men defending their flag, throw 'em a rager. 200,233. You got Bill Ackman right here, $10,000 donation. I'm going to hit refresh. Let's see what the number's at now. $230,000.
My friend
Bravo.
My friend called this the culture war Iwo Jima moment, right?
That's a good one.
That's what it is, though.
Well, people made a meme of the frat boys lifting the flag like the Iwo Jima photograph.
Well, and left-wing media hates guys in fraternities. Like, white guys in fraternities is the bane of all of feminism, left-wing media's existence. They represent something they don't like.
It's the president. Remember, feminists are all mad at the president or their dad.
Well, it makes me think, again, I've referenced this a couple times, but the Rolling Stone article where they're like, this one girl accused this fraternity, I think it was UVA, and then it turned out that girl made absolutely everything up, wasn't even at the school. Yeah. I don't even think she was in the state, and there was no acknowledgement of this. And so it's fun to see like guys who are just trying to live life, young men starting out, being like, well, you guys are protesting and we're going to leave you alone, but you can't take down the flag. Like, we are patriotic and we believe in this.
For this event, Trump needs to be there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. How
a
great
wager
would
with
that be?
Donald Trump. That would be the most amazing thing ever.
Donald Trump showing up to this event, celebrating these guys defending the American flag is what this country needs.
Yep.
That would be really cool.
And they can do it on the 4th of July.
One of the kids
at Trump Towers. Even
one of the kids had like apparently a military father, and he like wrote out a statement about what he saw and like how he didn't want the flag to touch the ground and how many people have died and sacrificed so much for that flag. And it was actually like really moving coming from somebody who you think is, to me, young, right? Like under 20.
But they're not too young to be principled, right? I mean, if the Gaza protesters feel very strongly that Israel is the aggressor in this, I think it is great to see young Americans also saying, hey, we're putting America first. We believe in this country. You can't just be disrespectful to symbols of our nation while on a college campus in America.
That's how you know it's not about Israel, though, right? It's not about Israel and it's not about Palestine. Why would you have to denigrate our flag? Why would you have to denigrate America in order to fight about your cause? Because it's not about that, right? Why would you have to pull down our flag and put theirs up? Because it's not about Israel, Palestine. It's about your hatred of America.
Yep.
That's all it's about.
100%. I mean, there's a phrase that that has been making the rounds on the internet, and it's the issue is never the issue. The issue is always the revolution. And that's the way that this is panning out. And honestly, people may not acknowledge it, but that's really what the vast majority of the BLM riots were as well. You know, the narrative that we were sold about police going after innocent black men and killing innocent black men. Most people thought that there were many. There were people that were saying thousands died per year, and on average it was like 13 or 14 per year.
9 in 1 year.
Yeah, I mean it's
bad.
It's not good, but it's so dramatically different from reality. It is accurate to say that it's a lie. To say that thousands of people have died, and that has caused so much damage to the country
and turmoil.
So much damage.
I want to read the GoFundMe for you guys. This is John Noonan, who writes, commie losers across the country have invaded college campuses to make dumb demands of weak university administrators. But amidst the chaos, the screaming, the anti-Semitism, the hatred of faith and flag, stood a platoon of American heroes, armored in vineyard vines and Patagonia, fueled by Zin and White Claws. These triumphant Bohemians protected Old Glory from the unwashed Marxist horde, laughing at their shrieks and wails and shielding the Stars and Stripes from Soviet missiles. These boys, men of the UNC Chapel Hill Pi Kappa Phi, gave the best to America, and now they deserve the best. Help us raise funds to throw this frat the party they deserve, a party worth of boat shroud proletarians who did their country proud.
Yep.
Well,
dude, I'm donating just for that write-up.
That write-up's great.
That write-up is fantastic.
So where are we thinking this is going to be hosted? Is it at UNC or Mar-a-Lago?
Mar-a-Lago.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
You should have it here.
Mar-a-Lago. I'd be willing to bet that, especially with the amount of money and attention they're getting, the amount of money they're raising, Trump and Mar-a-Lago would be like, yes, let's get. I mean, it expands upon the PR. It shines a light on virtue. It shows that there's positive reinforcement socially and culturally for defending this country and its flag amidst people screaming. And you can see in this photo, they're having stuff thrown at them. Mm-hmm. They're like throwing liquids at him or something. And so these young men were willing to hold it to make sure it didn't touch the ground while they tried to put it back up on the flagpole. And so they get rewarded. How? Cash, party, social recognition, and then ancillary benefit. Donald Trump gets tons of PR. They do this at Mar-a-Lago. Trump shows up. He walks in clapping for them. He buys them all McDonald's.
Somebody watching knows Cash Patel, or somebody watching knows Don Jr. Put a bug in there. Tell Don. He'd love it.
They got to know about this already.
I want a Truth Social
slide
by
it in
the
there.
morning. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, this deserves immediate acknowledgement. Again, if we're looking at America's youth as these, like, Ivy League educated super progressives, I would much rather see these. And I've said it a couple times, these protests are happening across the country, but there are colleges where there is a more mixed demographic where it's not happening, right? And I think seeing guys like this step up and be like, well, you're not telling them to break up their encampment. They're saying you can't do this to the flag. And that's a good message.
I want to stick up for Ivy Leagues just a little bit. And I'm going to say this because clearly I went to an Ivy League school twice.
Which one?
I went to Penn for my undergrad and grad. So I went there. But, they're if you could say anything about them, the student base themselves, they're not all these people. They're not all leftists. Now, the staff, sure. But I remember like over and over arguing with people, and there'd be some fringe lefties, but the righties, if anything, you could say they're feckless, right? Because they wouldn't stand up and say anything. They're like, I don't want to piss my teachers off. I don't want to piss off like potential job interest, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to mess with my grades. I had somebody years after I would like fight in class. This guy was like one of my closest friends in school. We would study all the time. And he called me up years later and he was like, hey, can you help my brother get an internship for Congressman whoever? I'm like, yeah, but he's a Republican, right? And he's like, yeah, my whole family's Republican. I'm like, you
didn't
left
say
me out there
anything
for that long? And he's like, I don't want it to affect my grade. Like, I don't want to ruin and they have pressure from their friend groups. And when me and James go on these campuses, like Penn's campus, we go and ask them, what is a woman, or can men menstruate? That was one of the videos like that we did. They are like, we know the answer. We don't want to be on camera. Please leave us alone.
You saw the video where the guy asks the girl how many genders there are, and then the girl's like, I want to say 2, and the other girl goes, stop, shh, stop. Everyone's like, nah, that video's got to be fake. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know, maybe.
No, it's always like that.
But my point is, I don't think you're going to find 3 actors that good to like do this bit. And I'm not saying they're the greatest actors in the, I don't know, but it seemed natural.
We go to Penn's campus all the time. It's over and over again.
That's in Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the pressure to like that, if you're conservative on a college campus, that pressure of being like, it's just easier to get the good grade and say what they want me to say is very real. I also think it trains young conservatives to be docile and not to say anything. And yeah, I do beat up on the Ivies a lot. I just mean it in the sense that like, the Ivies were historically sort of the epicenter of education in America, and they did do interesting things, and there have been lots of really important people who have come out of Ivies. I mean, Donald Trump went to Penn, right? So did all of his children.
It's the conservative of the Ivies, if you're going to say that, because of Wharton and the business school.
And I think that's like, I think all college education is a mixed bag, because there are good things that come out of a lot of colleges in the U.S., and then there are a lot of bad things. The problem with the Ivies, and I think this is probably, you might be able to speak to this better than I can, is that the majority of them, Harvard, Yale, Columbia, I think Brown is like this, they embraced progressivism so intensely and expected every other university to follow, because they are the top tier, so to speak. They are the ones that you're supposed to strive for. If you get into this school, it's a big deal. And there is, to me, a certain level of arrogance that comes with that. And again, that's why seeing them, the students, they were particularly probably excited to see their applications of being like, well, I'm, anti-systemic racism or whatever, being the same students that are, starting to tear the school apart is needed retribution, in my opinion.
It's definitely gotten worse too within the last 5 to 10 years. It's gotten really bad. But what they will say, we had a basketball girl. She was like, I can't be on camera. I want to keep playing basketball. The school's gone a little crazy. I mean, if the majority of the people that you talk to, they're smart kids. They know the answers to the basic questions, but they're afraid of the social justice mob.
This has been going on for the past 10 years all over society.
Well, they need to
This isn't new. And to be honest with you, thankfully, it is breaking. I think we all kind of agree that there are places and people that are starting to say it's not worth the concern anymore. They're gonna attack me or they're strangling my industry or whatever it is. But people are starting to break free of that. But that has been a normal thing.
But that's why rewarding these guys and this is good. Right? Because
100%.
So
Absolutely.
We're saying that we finally see some people standing up, and now we're going to reward you, and you're going to get $200,000 and a party. It's fine to do the right thing and to say what you actually believe. I think this could be a really good turning point to get these kids out of that mindset.
I was in college during the 2016 election, and I remember how many of the fraternities had Trump banners and stuff, or I'd be in class and I had a political communications professor who asked us to say who we thought was going to win the election, and every guy at a fraternity was like, it's going to be Trump, it's going to be Trump. And so I find it sort of endearing that it's the same guys who are probably not these guys because they're in college, but the same type of young men who are in these fraternities are also the ones who are actually, we're behind the flag. You can't take this down. I think this is a value that they don't get enough credit for.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.